WTL, where's the line? Nebraska's first and only sports betting show. I'm your host, Andy Klassen, joined by
Jabron.
Parlay Pounder.
You got it. We're back.
And we started off with a full slate of Thanksgiving Day NFL action coming your way. Well, guess what? The NFL has quite a bit more coming to you throughout the week. They're relentless. They're like a runaway freight train it's going to run you over, then come back around and run you over again.
They will.
So now we got a Friday game here?
A Friday game for the first time like ever, for sure.
Well, high school football is wrapping up across the nation. The NFL's like, okay, we'll go ahead and take Fridays as well then.
They take it all.
They will. So let's talk about the Miami Dolphins taking on the New York Jets, heading on up to MetLife Stadium. That is going to be, what do we got here? A 2 o'clock kickoff, November 24th. And I am looking at, wow, this line opened. This is crazy. This line opened up at what? -2.5 Jets? Yeah. And now it's a -10 Miami?
Well, I don't know about the Jets part because they should never be favored against the Miami Dolphins. But, yeah, it is all the way up to 10. Some people can still find it at 9 and 9.5, Andy. I'm seeing it at 9 on my book right now. But this is – obviously, this is a lot of points, like we said in the previous segment, but this is the Miami Dolphins versus the New York Jets. Yeah. The New York Jets just took down Zach Wilson. He is no longer the starter. They are starting another guy that's never played a lick in the NFL before. I have to go with the Miami Dolphins here, even if it's by 10 points. I think the Miami Dolphins – I think this is the biggest blowout of the week. I think this might be some 35-3 kind of stuff.
Yeah, and for all intents and purposes, New York's down to their third-string quarterback here.
Yeah.
Rodgers is still down. I know he was talking about maybe coming back, and you hit the nail on the head there. That's why the line has moved so much. Yeah. Because New York's on their third-string quarterback. That just does not work in the NFL. And, we like to talk about the Chiefs and Herbert out there for the Chargers. But I'm telling you what, Miami and their offense has got it rolling.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Andy. The Dolphins are still the best offense in football. The Dolphins have also won and covered 8 of the last 10 games against the Jets. Yeah. Give me the Fins here, double-digit victory. The Jets have scored a combined 24 points in their last 3 games, Andy. Ouch. That is absolutely terrible. Dolphins roll.
Okay, well, the over-unders are at a manageable 40.5. Are you feeling the over?
I think I am feeling the over, Andy, just because I think the Miami Dolphins might get there by themselves. They are really going to smoke these guys, and I really like. I don't know if I really like it, but I do like the over a lot better than the under.
Yeah, last 13 games, Miami has not only covered 9 times, but the under is actually smacked for the last 6 games. I just think that this is a different scenario here where we had a late scratch at the quarterback position. So many New York fans and fans across the nation were saying Zach Wilson needs to hang it up. Well, you're gonna get to see that here this weekend.
You got your wish, and yeah, you're talking about the Miami going under and all that kind of stuff. Their usual over-unders are right at about 56 to 58 points. So this is a lot less than that, obviously, playing a battered Jets team. So I really like the over if it's just at 40.
And I was looking at the injury report for the New York Jets, and Wilson still needs to be added to a few of these reports here. I want to get your thoughts real quick on, I know you follow those Barstool guys. Yeah. And Dave Portnoy has filed a lawsuit against the NFL, and I think he actually named Commissioner Goodell because I think he made like $100,000 bet on the Bengals.
Yeah.
And, of course, Joe Burrow wasn't listed on the injury report, but he got off the bus in a cast on his wrist, and he hurt his wrist in the game and was out early. I don't know. I think he's got some grounds here.
He definitely has some grounds here, Andy. I'm on the same exact boat as he was. Obviously, if you listen to our show, you know that I was high on the Bengals that week.
Yes.
And I put some money on them, and I was not happy either because you shouldn't be able to be injured and not disclose it to the entire NFL, especially if there's money involved. We should be able to know what's going on. If they're going to allow betting, across all these platforms, and the DraftKings Sports app is the app of the NFL.
Yep.
It's just we have to know that stuff if we're going to put the best information out there. So I believe he has very good grounds on this. Obviously, he's just going after Goodell because he's not very fond of him from his days as a Tom Brady hunker for the Patriots.
I think Goodell the Clown is still like their number one selling T-shirt over
of
there.
all time. Yeah, of all time.
And you make a great point where, you have DraftKings as the NFL sponsor. Individual teams also have sports books as sponsors.
For sure.
And the Bengals have one of the longest standing sponsors in Betfred Sports. And here they are not disclosing injury information that's heavily going to affect a betting line. And this was against the rules before all this public money from betting side, came into play here. That's a rule that was supposed to be followed anyway. So I think Cincinnati was going to get fined regardless.
Oh, no doubt.
Now you have all these people like Dave Portnoy, and just like you, I don't know if you put 100,000 on the Bengals, but you're probably right there with Dave.
Yeah, no, it's just a little less than that. Yeah, yep.
All righty, let's move on to the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah.
It's going to be Sunday night at SoFi Stadium, 7:20 kickoff on NBC. Ravens are 8-3. Chargers, how many times are we going to say the Chargers are underperforming, year after year after year? Or is that just who they are?
It's just game to game, year to year. I think it's just who they are, Andy. The Chargers have been growing increasingly frustrated. You can see it from their players. Like I said, I was out in Lambeau this past weekend to watch them, and you can tell that they have the best talent on the field against most of the teams that they play. And I wonder if it's just not taking a toll on the team in general that they can't come up with these big plays at the big moments, and against a very, very good Ravens team. I don't see them getting right in this game. I like the Baltimore Ravens in this game for sure.
Yeah, Ravens straight up, I think, is a good bet here, is a good play. And Baltimore's defense, man, they got their defense back. They are like a top right now. And unlike the last line that we talked about point spread wise, where the Dolphins opened up as a slight dog and now they're a 10-point favorite, huge flip, and then a lot of movement. This line opened up at 3.5, and it is staying at 3.5. The Ravens are the favorite on that key number there of 3.5. More than
no doubt. Yeah, no doubt, Andy. I do believe that they cover. I would like to see it at 3, just because the Chargers do have so many good offensive weapons, but I just believe that the Ravens are going to churn them out with their very nice running game, get the game going a little faster, and like you said, their defense stands up, and I believe that they will turn the ball over against this kind of sloppy Chargers offense. So give me the Ravens here by 3.5. I am looking at that under. Really, I really like the under here, Andy. Is probably my best bet of this game is that under.
So I bet you're looking at the updated line. It's sitting at a 48. I'm seeing a lot of 48s out there. And this is one of those totals that started at 44. 44.5 is where this opened up, and it shot up to 48. I think the books nailed it with that 44. I'm thinking a 21, 24 type of game here.
Yeah.
So that under is where I would be leaning with it sitting at 48 right now.
No doubt, Andy. Like I said, I was looking at this at like 46.5, 47, and then when it shot up to 48, I said, "Oh man, yeah." Thank you, people, for betting this up, because the under is going to smack in this one, just because that Ravens defense is so good and the Ravens run the ball so much. It'll keep that game going fast. Chargers will be coming from behind like they always do, but it'll hit. The under is going to hit.
All righty. Well, we mentioned how the NFL does it right. We're getting you started here on Thanksgiving Day, and a happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. We're going to take you all the way through Monday night. NFC North, old rivalry here. The Chicago Bears are heading on up to Minnesota to take on the Vikings, who maybe they got something going here. The 6-5 Vikings trying to save their season. This point spread is currently at -3.5. The Vikings are your favorite at home.
Yeah, I mean, I believe that this is probably where the line should be. Yeah. I don't believe this is what it's going to be. I don't think this is going to be very close of a game. I believe Josh Dobbs got his first actual, smack in the mouth as a Minnesota Viking, but he still played very well, I thought, in that game last week. So I think he gets it going against these Bears and doesn't really let up. Justin Jefferson is surprisingly going to make his, way back onto the field. I don't think the Bears have a chance at stopping him. I really don't. I think this might be a blowout for the Vikings.
You're beating up on my Chicago Bears, but you're also bucking the trend here. This line opened up at 5.5. It's been bet down to 3.5. You're totally going across. You're thinking it should be closer to 5.5 here.
I do. I think I would still feel very confident with the Vikings at a -6.5. I really do believe that they're a touchdown better than this team. I think that they're going to be able to score at will with Justin Jefferson, T.J. Hawkinson, and Jordan Addison against this Bears defense. I'm jury's still out on Justin Fields. Against this pretty decent Vikings team, I like him at home, and I like him to win by at least 4 points for sure.
Heard the horn there. That means we're up against it. But real quick, got to get your thoughts on this total. Set at 43. Both of these teams, more time than not, have been smacking the under all season long. But here we are sitting at just a 43. Where you at?
I mean, that is right where it should be. This is right where the last game that we talked about should be at that 43, 44 points. Right. If I had to lean away, it would be the under, Andy, just because I don't see the Bears scoring a lot of points here. And Josh Dobbs is going to get, I believe, 3 touchdowns for the Minnesota Vikings. And I think that's going to be enough to win this game. So I see this one at a 21-13, 21-17 game that the Vikings win.
And this is such a peculiar year in the NFL where I want to give credit to some defenses here, but I really think it's just a lack in offense. I mean, that's what's going on with Chicago. I mean, squarely, that's what's going on with Chicago. And Minnesota, obviously, they're on a backup quarterback that's kind of, hung out to dry, but then picked back up. And it's been a nice story. But, he had a dose of reality last week.
Yeah, it's been fun. But, like you said, you still got to play the game. And, I think the under more than likely will smack in this one as well.
All righty, you heard the horn, so let's take a minute to recognize one of our fabulous partners, and that is the Stock and Rod Company, an outdoor lifestyle brand for those seeking adventure. Whether it's hunting, fishing, hiking, they got you covered. Visit stockandrod.com to get your wild game on. Don't go anywhere. This is WTF.